Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
All right. MVDV just destroyed the entire media in this clip. Absolute must watch. Okay, let's try this stupid.
Attorney Michael Veen. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Let's get right into those words that we heard from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. He ended the trial with his passionate speech about President Trump's involvement in the insurrection. During it, he said that the former president is still liable for everything he did during his period in office. Are you expecting to face more charges against Mr. Trump in the near future, and do you anticipate being part of that defense?
No, that's just political rhetoric, and I was hopeful that something would come out of this, that the political rhetoric would stop out of Washington, D.C., but I guess apparently it hasn't.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How is this fucking idiot? Oh my god. How is this dumb fuck even talking? I thought the political rhetoric would stop out of Washington, D.C.
Were you, though, surprised to hear those words coming from the leader of the Republican Party in the Senate?
I'm not surprised to hear a politician say anything at all. No.
By the way, do you see this kind of anti-politics bullshit? This is what the most corrupt scum in the world do. They just do generic anti-politics rhetoric. Anti-politics, and it means nothing, and it's really just like pablum that fills the air. Amazing. Man, he's destroying.
Well, throughout the trial, you denied that Mr. Trump had a role in inciting the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. You argued, first of all, that there was no insurrection, but during your closing arguments, you seemingly admitted that there was, in fact, an insurrection, using that word, saying that was not up for debate. What role did the former president play?
You didn't understand the case. I used the word
I'll give you the opportunity to clarify, sir.
Sure. I used the word insurrection in my closing argument when quoting the charging documents. What happened at the Capitol on January 6th is absolutely horrific. But what happened at the Capitol during this trial was not too far away from that. The prosecutors in this case doctored evidence. They did not investigate this case, and when
liar, what they did is created a graphic about tweets that Trump made because his Twitter account is banned. So you have to reconstruct the tweets. You can't just link them directly because all his tweets are gone. And when they were creating someone took a picture of them creating visual aids. And in the visual aids, somebody had typoed the date on one of the tweets. And then later, they had fixed the typo when they actually presented the evidence. Because it was a work in progress when it was when there was a photo taken. There was no doctoring of shit. He's just a liar.
They had to come to the court of the Senate to put their case on because they hadn't done any.
He only thinks it's horrific because they failed. Absolutely true.
Investigation. They doctored evidence. It was absolutely shocking. I think when we discovered it and we were able to expose it and put it out. I think it turned a lot of senators. The American people should not be putting up with this. They need to look at who these House managers were and look to see whether these are the folks they want representing them. It was shocking to me. Wouldn't have believed it.
Let's follow up with a point that you're making right now about the House managers, as you say, doctoring evidence, and the argument.
They didn't deny it. They didn't deny it. I put it in front of them 3 times.
To be clear for our viewers, what you're talking about now is a check mark that's a verification on Twitter that did not exist on that particular tweet. A 2020 that should have actually read 2021, and the selective editing, you say, of the tapes. Is that how? Is that the doctored evidence of what you're speaking?
Wait, that's not enough for you? That's not enough for you?
They just took clips of his speech and didn't play the whole speech. They improperly put a verification Twitter next to somebody's name on a suspended account. Someone fucked that up when they were creating visual aids. That's not doctoring evidence. So that is the lie that they spread. That's it. That's it.
For you? Wait. No,
sir,
no.
I'm trying.
Listen,
I am not a juror in this trial. What I'm trying to be clear for our viewers is what you're referring to, because not everybody has been following.
It's not okay.
Not everybody.
To doctor
sir,
a little bit of evidence.
Respectfully, I have
not doctoring. Someone made a minor error in the visual aid department about a Twitter verification badge, and they call that doctoring.
I have not said it is okay.
Ma'am, your question is
I want to be clear for our viewers.
Listen, what has to happen is
viewers about what exactly you're saying when you say doctored evidence.
The media has to start telling the right story in this country.
Wait. Telling what exactly he's talking about?
Media is trying to divide this country. You are bloodthirsty for ratings.
What? Donald Trump said Mexicans are rapists. That Muslims should be banned from the country. That if the Democrats win the election, it's the end of America. Who the fuck do you think you're representing, dipshit?
And as such, you're asking questions now that are already set up with a fact pattern. I can't believe you would ask me a question indicating that it's all right just to doctor a little bit of evidence. There's more stuff that we uncovered that they doctored, to be frank with you.
Like?
And perhaps that will come out one day. But we won this case.
Yeah. See, we talked about the date typo because we were hiding the real evidence that's going to come out one day.
And I'm not a sore loser, but what happened, or a sore winner, I should say, but what should happen is somebody should look at the conduct of these House managers.
Dude, I could have gotten them to acquit Trump if I went up there and said he's guilty. He's guilty as hell. They still would have been fucking acquitted. You had nothing to do with it, you fucking ambulance-chasing dipshit.
Managers. It's unconscionable. Aside from all of the due process violations that my client had. And the media should be looking at a square, straight way. The straight way. When I watch the news, I watch one station and it's raining. I watch another station at the same time and it's sunny. Your coverage is so slanted, it's got to stop. You guys have to stop and start reporting more like PBS does rather than
what? Everyone agrees you're an idiot. I say one thing that's very important. One thing that you should all kind of recognize here. Conservatives like to lie. Okay? Conservatives like to lie. They're bald-faced, lying scum. Okay? Just understand that. They don't care that what they're saying is a lie.
A TV news show that doesn't have any journalistic integrity at all. What I'm telling you is that they doctored evidence. And
don't bring this guy. I mean, like, so here's the truth about conservatives. They have, at this point, they're a fascist party. So what do you do with fascist parties that have power? You destroy them. You destroy them. That's it. Let's stop playing around with these people.
I believe your question says, well, it's only a Twitter check and changing a year of a date here.
By the way, the date wasn't even presented at trial. It was a picture they took For a journalistic article, someone saw a picture of a computer monitor where there was an error, but at trial, they've put the correct date. When they actually submitted the evidence, it had the correct date. So he's literally talking about one slide had one verification badge on it that wasn't supposed to be there. That's it.
The date of a Twitter a year to try to connect it to this case. That's not a small thing, ma'am.
What? It's the opposite. They put the year 2020 when it was 2021, which is 2021 was immediately when the events were happening. They put a mistake by making it seem like it was a year ago when they made the error. Because it's January and people, accidentally put 2020 in during January till you relearn, oh, it's 2021. He's actually lying about this completely, provably. Now let's see if she's smart enough to correct him. I'm losing it.
The other thing they did is they put a check mark on something to make it look like it was a validated account when it wasn't. And when they were caught, they didn't say anything about it. They didn't even try to come up with an excuse about it. And that's not the way our prosecutors or our government officials should be conducting themselves. And the media shouldn't be left.
I mean, meanwhile, they literally are covering up murders of black and brown people, grand juries around the country. And this is what they come up with.
Letting them get away with it either. I'm tired of the biased media on both sides, left and right. What this country wants,
So I want you to notice what's happening here. The both sides rhetoric, that's the fascist rhetoric. Both sides are corrupt, both sides are bad. That's fascist rhetoric. Just be clear. Whenever you hear someone say that, your antenna should go up. Be like, why are you overly focusing on both sides? Why are you falsely equivocating?
This country needs is this country to come together, to take the left and the right and find a middle ground and start responsibly being our public officials, our elected officials. And one of the reasons why they do it is because of the media, because the media wants to tell their narrative rather than just telling it like it is. And frankly, I'm tired of it. I'm not a media. I'm not in front of your cameras all the time. But what I've been subjected to this last week.
I understand, and I've given you the opportunity.
You don't want to hear the truth. Yeah. Okay.
I've given you the opportunity. I will remind you that what I said was that for our viewers who have not been following all of the hours of this trial, to be clear about what you are speaking about. And I understand
I'm speaking
that you
about
seem
the House
very
manager's
upset.
failure to prove their case. That's what I'm telling you. They weren't able to prove their case.
You have won the acquittal of your client.
Yes,
and if you'd like to continue to talk about this conversation, we can have that discussion.
I don't need to.
But for me to ask a question, to clarify.
See, this is why these type of journalists actually have negative value. She stops talking immediately when he starts talking, and he's lying the entire time. And she's assuming like this guy is good faith or something. This is why fascism beats liberalism. In a nutshell, you're experiencing it.
It's in question, a slanted question that was set up to say it's okay for them to cheat. That was your question. Isn't it okay for them to cheat?
I didn't say that.
It's just a little bit. You said, to be fair, it was only a check on the Twitter. That's what you said.
That's what it is.
You gotta live by your words.
That's what it was. Someone made an error. They put a check mark on a Twitter account that wasn't verified. Who cares? That's not material to anything. That is a harmless error, as they say in the law. It doesn't mean the tweet was a made-up tweet. Nothing about that is material. And he would be laughed off out of any courtroom by any judge. He would be like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?"
That's the problem. The media has to start living by the truth and not try to create a narrative.
Michael Vander Veen, thank you for joining us. I do appreciate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you
I see you taking off your microphone now. That was President Trump's defense attorney, Michael van der Veen.
So I just want to show you, this is what fascists, like, it's 100%, it's 100% tribal to this point. Like, you have to be a pathetic baby brain to think that's actually a real thing. I think I need to be focusing more on creating a certain type of hardened resistance to fascism. That's what the Republicans are like. And then Nancy Pelosi says we need a strong Republican Party. The evidence, it couldn't be clearer that we don't. And it doesn't matter. I really hate how normal people can't identify with how his lawyer speaks as nothing but fascist rhetoric. Well, they're not being told that. What, do you think people figure things out on their own? As long as they keep a facade of kindness, smiles, and civility, journalists don't care what happens in these interviews. 100% right. Now let's talk about what's happening in reality. If you want more leftists on this platform and other platforms that actually go into deep dives about issues like finance and electoral politics, you're never going to find a better stream than this one. Here's some things you can do. I'm posted YouTube content constantly. We had another Jimmy Dore video. We had a not safe for stream debate with conservatives where Vosh and I and Denims debated with a bunch of conservatives about voter fraud. You have the dumbass takes of uniting with fascists. Get in there. Get in there.